Good morning. Good morning. This is Brigadier Hemant Mahajan. Welcomes you to another session on Facebook Live. The subject today is China's economic downturn, which gives an opportunity to India to catch up with China. China is our long term enemy. There should not be a least doubt about it. But China today is facing a number of problems. So therefore, it, its economy is slowing down. It is having a problem in terms of industrial output, and there are many issues I will talk about. I will give you some details with respect to the Chinese. The Chinese food supply today is in short supply. There are the government has told the Chinese people that they must stock up. When does a government tell its people to stock up? It tells them to stock up when a war is likely to break out. That is number one. Will they go out for a war with Taiwan? Will they carry out any offensive action against India, or will they carry out any offensive action in the South China Sea? Only time will tell. But the fact is that the Chinese may do something provocative just to turn attention of their people away from the problems that China is facing internally. There are a number of people who have been locked up in Disneyland because one person tested positive for Delta. There is a power shortage in China. The Chinese are falling short of coal because of problems with Australia. Their shortage, their coal imports which used to come from Australia have stopped completely, and as a result there is a very severe shortage of coal in China. The Chinese power companies are not producing adequate power. As far as the One Belt, One Road or the Belt and Road initiative is concerned, countries after countries are not able to pay back what they are supposed to be paying back to China. So therefore, there is a lot of anger against China, and most countries are not wanting to have adequate economic relation. In fact, most of them are trying to decouple their economy from China. Of course, it will take a long time, but the point is that this journey has already started. Countries in Africa, countries in Asia, USA, and for that matter, the quadrilateral cooperation countries and even India are trying to decouple their economy with China, because they find that China is a very, very unreliable country as far as economic activity is concerned. The wages have gone up in China, but there are no jobs at all. The real estate sector in China is in complete doldrums, and we have spoken about it as to how their valuation has fallen. The technological companies in China are having a very serious problems, so therefore they are also going down. Some of the most entrepreneur Chinese leaders such as Alibaba and others have now gone down completely because of restrictions put on them by the Chinese Communist Party. Not only that, traditionally China was very strong in manufacturing. Now, because of decoupling of economy, everywhere there's all the countries are trying to not get things from China, but trying to get it from some other source. So therefore, overall there's a lot of enmity against China, and overall a lot of countries are trying to find out alternate sources of supply, be it for raw material or be it for manufactured goods, or for that matter be it even for economic cooperation. So is China crumbling down because of its economic challenges? Is it crumbling down because of various problems that it faces internally, etc.? As far as the pandemic is concerned, it is said that China is having a very serious problem in trying to control it. More than 11 states have lockdown. Chinese government is trying to tell people that you stock up as much food as you can, and it is also advising its people not to waste food. there have been unusual rains, so therefore food availability has gone down considerably. China, as far as China is concerned, it is always short as far as food availability is concerned. So therefore, China is required to export, import whatever they need for their internal consumption from various countries. So therefore, there are innumerable problems which China is facing, both in terms of industrial output, in terms of agricultural output, in terms of economic downturn, in terms of many companies closing down. So what does it mean for India? As far as India is concerned, it gives us a great opportunity for catching up. Today, what we must know is that the difference between the Indian economy and the Chinese economy is almost 3 times. We need to grow up fast. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is a program which government is trying to follow since a long time. There are many schemes such as productivity linked bonuses, etc. They are definitely helping the cause of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Not only we need to become an Atmanirbhar Bharat, but we also need to become an manufacturing hub. We need to grow up both in terms of raw material production, both in terms of manufacturing, also in terms of exports, exporting it to other countries. So therefore, this requires a very detailed planning, a very detailed execution. We need to ensure that our ease of doing business in India improves tremendously. It has improved quite a lot, but we still have a long way to go to match the Chinese. We must do that as fast as possible. The cost of land must not escalate. As far as the productivity of Indian labor is concerned, be it unskilled labor, be it semi-skilled labor, be it skilled labor, we need to reach the world-class level. We also need to ensure that the capital that is required for companies, for the economy to grow is cheap. We need to ensure that our infrastructure is improved tremendously, so that wherever a product is manufactured, taking it from there to the market becomes easy and cheap. So therefore, we need to increase our roads, we need to increase our railway connections, we need to increase our air connectivity, etc. In fact, if you want to match the Chinese, we need to be as efficient as the Chinese, or for that matter, more efficient than the Chinese. Whichever field we are wanting to become world class, we need to work very, very hard. Now today, after the lockdown was over, the Indian economy is picking up. The GST collections have been the best, second best ever since GST was introduced. As far as the manufacturing is concerned, it is improving. As far as the services sector is concerned, it is improving. And we also need to compliment our our Indian citizens, that this Diwali everybody boycotted the Chinese, and therefore it was ensured that we did not give an opportunity to China for making profits in our country. Otherwise, the Chinese make a lot of profit, their economy prospers, and thereafter they show what is called as the military adventurism in our country. So this time we as country have united. We have not bought anything from the Chinese, but just getting united before Diwali or during Diwali is not going to help. It has to be a long-term aim. We need to ensure that we buy Indian, we buy Swadeshi things. We give importance to small scale sector, we give importance to middle scale sector. We also need to ensure that our products are as world class as it can be. We need to improve our agriculture. So all this is will help the country to prosper. And if we want to match the Chinese challenge in the middle term to long term, we have to ensure that our economy becomes as efficient or more efficient than the Chinese, and it becomes world class. So all in all, there are a lot of opportunities which have been given to us by the Chinese downturn. We must make full use of it. Our tourism sector today is improving drastically. Everybody seems to be going out and visiting places of tourist interest, but we must ensure that the corona precautions which government has been telling us again and again as to what to do are taken regularly, so that we do not have to go for another lockdown. Basically, we have done quite well as far as last few months are concerned. Let us hope that we continue with our good performance, so that the Chinese downturn in economy becomes an opportunity for us, and we are able to catch up with them faster than what was predicted. Today, the religious tourism in the country is improving. People are going to Ayodhya, etc. The spiritual tourism in the country is at an all-time high. The medical tourism in our country has also improved. So therefore, all the sectors of the economy are looking up. So let us hope that we continue with our good work and ensure that our country prospers and we become a world power, an economic power, so that we can compete with the Chinese in the times to come. Recently, in the climate change summit which took place in Great Britain, our contribution to reducing the carbon emissions has been appreciated by the world. It will also help to ensure that our air becomes less polluted. It will also ensure that we use more non-conventional sources of energy such as solar, etc. All this is a good thing. Let us hope that we continue to improve economically, improve our comprehensive national power, so that we are able to take care of all the inimical action that our enemies may do against us. I will stop here. If you like this video, like it on the Facebook and try and share the link with as many people as possible. Thank you, Jai Hind, and Happy Diwali once again.